Hello, everybody. Welcome to the video. Today, we're going to be looking at some possible trades in the first round, or as well as proper picks, fits, situations, scenarios, all that good stuff here in this episode. This ain't a pod. I wanted to do a pod. Unfortunately, don't really have the resources for that right now. But yet, if I look a little red, I just got done doing a few things. All right, that took a lot of energy. All right, so I'm one of those like heavy sweaters and my face stays red forever. I've showered already, a cold shower. It's very nice, but that's besides the point. Let's hop right in to what I think could be one of the first trades really in this whole process. I think that one of the first possible trades that's been talked about a lot was the move up to 3 if you're Indy. So say CJ Stroud, boom, Bryce Young's off the board. So what you're looking at here is the top 2 QBs, but it doesn't matter if Indianapolis invested in Anthony Richardson or Will Levis. I really like this opportunity for the Indianapolis Colts to move up with Arizona. So that being said, I'm going to move over here to the Cardinals. Not Cardinals, that is that's embarrassing. The Cardinals right here have 1-3. And then we're going to see an offer from Indianapolis as 1-4. They're moving up 1 spot. And you might be asking, why would you do that? You're going to reinsure yourself that no one else can trade above you to get a future quarterback. So you don't want your quarterback getting stolen at 3. Even though you have 4, you can move up 1 to kind of help. I think you can add a 3 and then maybe even like a next year 3 as well. And that will probably get it done. So you could see Indianapolis move up to 3 here, and boom, Anthony Richardson off the board just like that at 3. Arizona is still left with any good player like Will Anderson or someone of that nature and everything like that. So that was one of the first case scenarios. If they're looking at corner, they lost Byron Murphy Jr. Christian Gonzalez still on the board. You're shooting for the ceiling, go Tyree Wilson. If you don't mind the character issues with Jalen Carter, character concerns, actually not really issues, but concerns and alleged, things right now. I think Jalen Carter could be a really good pick at 4. If you want to trade down, you can even shop this pick at 4, maybe move down with Las Vegas again, which will be one that we look at. So we'll go ahead and restart this draft here. Go ahead and select all. If you guys are curious how I set these up right here, I just do this, go number 1 round. I don't really care too much about that. That's if you're not really using these teams. But say you're on the clock here at 1. We're going to do it the consensus again, except we'll go Bryce Young, and then we'll go CJ Stroud just to change it up. And then here at 3, we're going to have Vegas trading up. And in this trade, there's a lot of heavy assets going into it. Arizona to give up this number 3 spot and get move down 4 spots for Las Vegas. If you want to move 1-7 up to 1-3, you can pay a price. And that is the 2nd round pick that you have that is early. And also your 2024 third, that'll be the trade for me. It could possibly be more if you're moving up for a quarterback. So at the spot, Anthony Richardson's on. I don't like him with the head coach and coaching staff there. So if you want to move up for Will Levis as well, I'm sure you can. And, I think Jim Irsay would be fine with Will Levis at 4 as well. Or this could be potentially trade down spot. But I think if you don't like, Lamar Jackson and Gardner Minshew, whatever your options are, you have to gamble on a quarterback. And I don't think that you can afford to lose one to Seahawks at 5. You'd have to trade back up pretty much for Hendon Hooker, and essentially that would not be the ideal situation you're looking at. We'll go all the way down to the 7th pick here. At number 5, dream scenario, Will Anderson off the board, and then here at number 6, we'll just go with Jalen Carter. How about that? And then here at number 7, if you are Arizona, there are still 2 or 3 quality players on the board, and that is Christian Gonzalez, Tyree Wilson, and Devin Witherspoon here. Even if you want to reach down the board, get Paris Johnson or Peter Skoronski, draft him as a guard, because there are some NFL analysts out there that say he will be drafted as an NFL guard and he can play guard at the highest level. And I don't doubt that, but I'm just not quite sure how that looks. But Lucas Van Ness also at 7 could be in play here, but I just go Christian Gonzalez or one of these 3 top players, or you can even reach Skoronski, Johnson, Van Ness. I don't think you really take Johnson in this spot, despite, if you trade Nuke, sure, you can bring him in. He's a totally different player. Myles Murphy, Nolan Smith, even if you want to gamble on at 7. So there's still a selection of players at 7 if you do trade down. And a lot of these first trades are going to have to do with Arizona. I really like the idea of Arizona trading down. And this trade right here, Tennessee has come out and it's reportedly a thing right now that Tennessee is looking to trade up to that number 3 spot. So you can trade 11 and 3, move up 8 spots and only give up next year first. Only obviously is a little crazy. You only do that. But are you all in on one of these players? Are you moving up for Will Anderson? What are you doing here at number 3, and why are you moving up? Is that for Anthony Richardson? And this is the reason that I said in the first trade, Indianapolis jumps 1 spot to Arizona. Just because if you're at 3, no one else can get 3. So it prevents all this from even happening. I'm just gonna go Anthony Richardson at 3. If you don't believe in Malik Willis or Ryan Tannehill right now, and you just love Anthony Richardson or something like that, it's just a possible trade. One of the 6 I have on the board, so we're already halfway through this thing, and we'll have to mock draft all the way down to Arizona at 11 to still show you that there is still a good value there. Indianapolis, like I said, they're going to have to take a chance on the quarterback. Then Will Anderson off the board at 5. We'll go Tyree Wilson at 6, change it up a little bit. Sure, Christian Gonzalez can go off. This is just a quick, really fast, speedy, going right through. Kind of not what I would do, but kind of just going through scenarios right now. We'll go Devin Witherspoon at 10. Why not? And then here at 10, you have Peter Skoronski, who I mentioned before, Van Ness, Murphy, Nolan Smith, all in play, as long as Joey Porter Jr. If you like Joey Porter Jr. enough, you can go Deonte Banks right now. A guy that is, perhaps a borderline top 50 pick is Darius Rush, despite being ranked at 100. I think the NFL will love him a little bit more than this draft simulator for sure, but we could see a team be really high on him. If you want to, you can go Kalijah Kancey at this point, but for me, it's between probably 3 guys, and that's or 4 guys. These 3 edge rushers right here: Van Ness, Murphy, Smith, and probably Joey Porter Jr. And you can add Skoronski into that group, but I don't think that really you'd be into that. So I just go Van Ness there at 11. I think that's a good pick, and shows you what's available there at Arizona. If they were to move down, you're still getting a quality player plus a next year first plus. I think that's really it that you got, but that could be an incredibly high pick next year. You never know with this team or with these teams in the NFL anymore. I mean, we saw, the notorious Arizona season where they started, 10-0 2 years back. So that was kind of unexpected. Saw a good season from Seattle, even though no one was expecting it. So it's just crazy nowadays what we're seeing. Any team can step out of anywhere. Obviously, Cincinnati, just 2 years previous and whatnot. But we'll look at another possible trade. And here's another trade that is kind of a possibility that I love a lot here, is for if the Tennessee Titans don't want anybody here and you still have plenty of options if you are Tennessee at this spot. I like the idea of trading down, even if it is just 2 spots, with the New York Jets. So 2 or 3 tackle needy teams coming up, and New York Jets would like their pick, and they have 2 second-round picks. I'm not sure if you want to do that. If you want to give them 43 and then also get this 3 back, I think that's not fair, to say the least. Not fair, but you're moving in the right direction. You're only moving a round down, basically. But I think that is a possible trade, I guess. You pick up 72. Also, you just move up over, Houston, who can take a tackle. They were there before. New England was on pace to take a tackle, but maybe you wanted to get in front of, Houston if you love Peter Skoronski. I know Broderick Jones, you probably wouldn't have to move up, but you'd like some guarantees at this spot. You could move up for Will Levis if the Aaron Rodgers trade doesn't go through or whatever it is. But for me, it's going to be Peter Skoronski at 11. Someone that could play a versatile offensive lineman. You got that kind of mold built over there anyways. Mekhi Becton. You brought in Elijah Vera-Tucker as well. No, Elijah Vera-Tucker, that sounds right, but very well be wrong. But yeah, that is just an ideal trade here. And then say here at 12, let's say Joey Porter Jr. falls off the board here. What does that leave Tennessee? That leaves Tennessee Quentin Johnston, another sizey receiver with after the catch ability. You can go Bijan if you end up dealing Derrick Henry out. You can trade down again. You can get your pick out of these 3 right here, or you can get a player like Broderick Jones. So you trade down, you still get a high ceiling tackle, and I really like that pick there. Kind of stole something from New England here at 14 as well. So I can see, we all know New England, not a traditional team. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a Nolan Smith, a Brian Branch, Kalijah Cansey, Deonte Banks, Darnell Wright, Flowers, Brzee, Torrance, anybody off this board, because they've always been kind of different and unique, and I admire that about them. But we'll move on to second to last trade that I think is possible, or that is a likely scenario or something along those lines. And we'll see this very next trade here. Los Angeles Chargers. With the loss of Austin Ekeler, this could very well be a trade up with the Seattle Seahawks as well that don't necessarily need to pick at 20. But for right now, I think that this could go for the Chargers right here, and that is a trade with the Dallas Cowgirls. The Dallas Cowgirls. It was going to be the Los Angeles Chargers, not JAC, I need LAC, with the Dallas Cowgirls. So 26 for 21, you're moving up 5 spots. If you give them like your 3 this year, I'm sure that would get it done. I think that might even be too much. You might want to give like a 4 this year, and you could give like a 5 next year, or 4 and a 4. It doesn't matter, but you just want to basically move up against Baltimore, or move up past Baltimore, and that's what you're really looking for. Is that is the first possible team that could probably take Bijan if he lasts to the spot. And Bijan being here, he's a top 3 player in this draft, basically. Top 3 talent in this draft. And to get Bijan at 21, I think that you would do, I think you'd give up that 3rd round pick to move up to get such an insured player in Bijan. And like I said, this can be a trade up with 20 once or if Austin Ekeler goes, because obviously right now they're not really mutually interested on remaining. So if Ekeler ends up leaving the Chargers, who normally pick at 21, we could see this even being a trade up with Seattle, who can get Zay Flowers perhaps at 26 or whatever, because I haven't taken Zay Flowers. I love that fit with their offense and whatnot. But at 21, it's going to be Bijan for me. And then, you know, if you're Baltimore, you say, I'll screw it. And then you're going to probably just go Quentin Johnston. We see Minnesota probably go with Jordan Addison. And then at number 24 here, what's a popular pick here? I'm not trying to be popular. Just go Brian Branch, dude. Screw it. And then Giants, if they can get Nolan at 25, that'd be pretty funny. Not exactly saying that they need him. Azeez Ojulari, Kayvon Thibodeaux both playing there isn't really the greatest for him. And then at 26, you have your pick between interior players, between, you know, Brian Brzee if you want to go. Mozzie Smith, I think Tuli Tuipulotu isn't in play, but he's a good player. Perhaps you can consider taking him later and taking a tight end now. And maybe Michael Mayer off the board at 26 would make sense for him. So the trade down, still get a value player at 26. And then we'll have one more massive trade that I think that realistically it's in the realm of possibility. Not saying it's going to happen, but it's there. Here's the next spot for the next trade. At this spot, do you guys notice anything? Yes, Will Levis has fallen to 18 with the Detroit Lions, who have 2 picks inside, whatever and whatnot. You got Jalen Carter early, and the best thing on the board for them now is probably edge rusher Myles Murphy. If I had to look at it, sure, Bijan's on the board, but you're going to go ahead, get into a little trade proposal with and this is just to get the mock draft simulator, whatever, but this trade to go through here on this mock draft simulator, but it'd be the Los Angeles Rams that are perhaps moving up for a quarterback to develop behind Matthew Stafford for a year, but Detroit will trade down 18 to 36 while acquiring 69 and a projected, you know, probably high 3rd round pick. This could also be, I could easily see this being the 2. If you're moving up for a quarterback, the price is going to push, and Detroit might want a little bit more than this, but for the mock draft simulator's sake, it's going to have to be that. And Will Levis will be the Rams pick. If the QB falls, this is a likely scenario. I don't mind this happening. Moving back up into 18, I think it fits. Will Levis, your big arm, whatever quarterback that has the tools, can sit behind a veteran like Matt Stafford. I don't think you can put him in a better situation. Well, getting coached by Sean McVay isn't bad. Well, having pieces on offense like Cooper Kupp isn't horrible. And that'll push us all the way down to 36, where we will be picking the next pick for the Detroit Lions. And pushing you all the way down to 36, I think that there are about 4 players here that I'd consider, or I guess 4 different positions, really. You can go Darnell Washington, Michael Mayer. You can go Manny Forbes or any other corner you want. Getting Jalen Carter there, you kind of addressed it. But Darnell Washington would probably be ideal. I love Drew Sanders as a talent, and I'm more than happy to see him fall to here and get taken into a good team or whatever, like the Detroit Lions, where he could be really good. I also love Jack Campbell to this spot as well. But you have number 48. You have 12 picks down the road. You don't really need to overpay, but I think you should get an athletic freak who has fallen down the board more than ever. Darnell Washington at 36, even though Michael Mayer is probably the more complete tight end, and that's probably what you're looking for more. Darnell Washington has a tremendous upside, and if you're going to bring in a quarterback behind Jared Goff, you know, a little bit down the road, or just use Jared Goff, I understand you traded TJ Hawkinsock, but at 36, Darnell Washington is tremendous. You know, value and whatnot. So that'll be all for me. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully, you know, if your guys' team was in here, tell me how you guys like the move. Obviously, this probably won't be well received by too many people, you know, who don't like their team wasting resources to move up. But if you're like a Arizona fan that we're trading down and still getting tremendous value, I'm sure you guys would like that. You know, New York, you're like, why are you even trading up there? It's a turn of, I've seen it before. I don't think it's a horrible idea. I think you could easily scoot on up if you're the Patriots, if you're the Jets, any of those tackle-needy teams, even the Pittsburgh Steelers. If the Commanders don't like Charles Leno, they can move right up and not really have an issue with it. Just give away like a future third or something, or this year third, and you're getting a solidified tackle or just something along the lines. And then if you're a Rams fan, I'm sure you guys are absolutely fuming. But you know, it is what it is. See you guys next time. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. And if you guys did, make sure to consider liking and subscribing. It would help me out a lot. And I'll have to see you guys next time you watch a video of mine, if you ever do.